Ever wonder why a movie from 30 years ago can feel more real? More tangible than a modern blockbuster overflowing with digital wizardry? You're not just imagining it, and it's not simply nostalgia talking. There's a fascinating battle that has been raging in Hollywood for decades. The war for realism between practical effects and computer-generated imagery, or CGI. Why does that giant creature from an old fantasy film still send shivers down your spine, while the perfectly rendered alien in a new sci-fi epic sometimes leaves you cold? The answer lies in how our brains perceive the world. And it all comes down to physics, light, and something we can call visual weight. Let's start with practical effects. This is the art of creating illusions physically right there on the set. Think of meticulously crafted puppets, sophisticated animatronics, and detailed miniature models. When a director films an animatronic creature, they are filming a real, physical object. It exists in the same space as the actors, under the same lights. This is crucial. The light from the set lamps bounces off its textured surface in a way that is inherently authentic, because it's actually happening. The shadows it casts fall naturally onto the ground and across the other actors, obeying the real-world laws of physics without any need for a programmer to simulate them. This physical presence gives the object weight. When it moves, you can sense its mass and the effort it takes to shift its position. It displaces air. It interacts with the environment. Maybe it kicks up real dust, or its heavy footsteps cause genuine vibrations on set. Your brain, which has spent your entire life learning the rules of the physical world, recognizes these cues instantly. It accepts the creature as part of the scene because, in a very real sense, it is. The texture of its skin, the way light glints in its physical, glassy eye, the subtle imperfections of its movement, all these details are captured by the camera, contributing to a believable and grounded illusion. Now, let's journey back to the dawn of mainstream CGI in the 80s and 90s. Early computer-generated effects were revolutionary for their time, allowing filmmakers to create things that were simply impossible to build practically. However, this new technology had a steep learning curve. Computers back then were vastly less powerful than the device you're watching this on right now. Rendering a single frame of CGI could take hours or even days. Because of these limitations, early CGI often had a distinct, unreal quality. The models were often less detailed, with simpler geometric shapes and textures that could look smooth or plastic-like. The real challenge, though, was light and physics. Programmers and artists had to manually simulate how light would interact with a digital object. They had to guess how it should reflect, how it should cast shadows, and how it should blend with the live-action footage. This was an incredibly complex task, and they often didn't get it quite right. The lighting on a CGI character might not perfectly match the lighting of the real-world set, creating a subtle but noticeable disconnect. The digital creation would look like it was pasted on top of the film rather than existing within it. And then there was the problem of weight. Early CGI creations often moved with a floaty, unnatural smoothness. They lacked the convincing inertia and impact of a physical object. When a digital monster ran, it didn't always feel like its feet were truly hitting the ground with force. The simulation of physics was in its infancy, and our brains, so finely tuned to spot these inconsistencies, would immediately flag the image as fake. This is why some effects from that era have aged poorly. Our eyes have become more sophisticated, and we're now hyper-aware of these digital seams that were once groundbreaking. Fast forward to today, and the world of CGI is almost unrecognizable. The technology has evolved at an astonishing rate. Modern CGI is capable of creating breathtakingly realistic images that were once the stuff of science fiction. Digital artists can now craft characters with individual pores, strands of hair, and incredibly complex textures. They use advanced software that simulates the physics of light, known as ray tracing, to create incredibly accurate reflections, shadows, and refractions. The physics engines are also vastly more sophisticated. Animators can now give their digital creations a true sense of weight and mass, can simulate muscle tension, the jiggle of skin, and the way a body realistically reacts to impact and motion. When done well, modern CGI can be utterly seamless and completely convincing. It allows filmmakers to build entire worlds, create fantastical beings, and stage epic scenes that would be impossible or impossibly expensive to achieve with practical effects alone. So, if modern CGI is so advanced, Why do some new blockbusters still fall into that uncanny valley, looking less convincing than a 30-year-old puppet? The answer is often a combination of time, budget, and artistic choice. Creating high-quality photorealistic CGI is still an incredibly labor-intensive and expensive process. It requires teams of hundreds of talented artists working for months or even years on a single film. Sometimes, due to tight deadlines or budget constraints, the effects work is rushed. The lighting might not be perfectly integrated, the animation might lack that final layer of polish, or the textures might not hold up under close scrutiny. In a scene packed with hundreds of digital elements, it's easy for small errors to slip through, and our brains are experts at detecting them. Even a single object that doesn't cast its shadow correctly can be enough to shatter the illusion for the viewer. This is where practical effects retain their inherent advantage. The puppet on set is always lit correctly because it's being lit by the actual lights. It always has the correct physical weight and presence because it's a real object. It doesn't require a team of artists to simulate its interaction with the environment. It just interacts. This grounds the fantasy in a layer of undeniable reality. Ultimately, the most successful and timeless films often don't choose one over the other. They use a smart combination of both practical and digital effects, leveraging the strengths of each technique. A filmmaker might use a detailed animatronic head for close-up shots with actors, capturing that perfect, real-world interaction and lighting. Then, for wider shots showing the full creature running or flying, they'll switch to a digital double that allows for more dynamic and impossible movements. By blending these techniques, they get the best of both worlds. The practical element anchors the creature in reality, making us believe in its existence, and the CGI then expands upon that reality, allowing the creature to do things that a puppet never could. This hybrid approach fools our brains more effectively. We see the physical creature in one shot, and our mind accepts it as real. When we then see the CGI version, our brain is already primed to believe, making us more likely to overlook any minor digital imperfections. So, the next time you're watching a movie, old or new, pay close attention. Ask yourself what feels real and what doesn't. Is it the creature made of latex and servos, or the one built from pixels and code? You'll start to notice the subtle magic at play, the perfect shadow from a physical model, or the breathtaking scope of a digital landscape. It's a testament to the incredible artistry, both physical and digital, that goes into creating the worlds we love to get lost in. The war for realism isn't about one technique defeating the other. It's about a constantly evolving collaboration, dance between the tangible and the digital, all in the service of telling a great story. I hope you found this exploration of visual effects interesting. If you enjoy deep dives into the world of cinema, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Movies Recap Repo, for more content like this.